What this Malayalam film has done is beyond imagination, even by its own makers. That's what they pulled off. So how did they do it? Let's break it down because there are people out there who need to take notes. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince, and where does Lokah Chapter 1 Chandra stands today? It is India's first female-led superhero film from Malayalam cinema which has grossed over 200 crores without any big A-list names. It has not just done well in Kerala but has traveled across. They've got the acceptance for the world they have built. And right now in India, it is the hottest property with one of the best and most anticipated cinematic universe. So how did they do it? Now it's easy to break it down in the hindsight. Can you use that to just repeat it again? Maybe no, but you can definitely learn something. You will understand the process which is needed to do something like this, to know the different signs that tell you that you're on the right track. Since the film has come out, there have been a lot of interviews by the actors, the director, the writer, where they have revealed a lot of inside details, what went behind the scenes, how it all unfolded, and the future plans. And in this video, I'll talk about 5 different points that attribute to the success of this film. Number 1 is intentions. That's always the most important. So initially, the idea for the film was really small. It was just about Chandra's character. In the words of Kalyani Priyadarshan, it was supposed to be an indie film. And from there, the film evolved to something bigger. When Dulquer Salman came on board and they saw that it could be something big, that they can actually create a world, use other elements in the Kerala's folklore, bring all of them together. Now, because it has become such a big thing now, a big universe, the most typical thing would be to get a big star and make that film first. But they didn't do that. And of course, they had discussions of going that way. But the point is, they didn't. They chose to make this film. It is her story. That's what we'll tell first. And we'll use this narrative to lay the foundation for this world. And they didn't go for the big stars. They went for the right actors who would fit the role, who would fit the world they are making. And the biggest deal was of getting a female voice on board. Like the story is by Dominic Arun. He has written the screenplay. He's the director. Why should he get anyone else? He can tell a female story. Maybe just share the script with someone and get some notes. But no, he got a co-writer in Santi Balachandran. And there's no hand-holding. There are co-writers. That's what she herself has said. And that tells you that the film is bigger than anything. It's bigger than the ego. It's bigger than the insecurity. And that's the job of a director. That the film should be the first priority no matter what. And today we see the result of that. Number 2 is the team. Now if you look at all the interviews, you see the social media. In all of those, you can see each person praising all the other team members. No one's just boasting about themselves. At every point, they're mentioning all the other people who made it possible to make the film. And it is one of the rare moments where literally the crew is being celebrated. I don't recall it at the moment, but I'm sure there are many films who have done this before. When the film ends, we get written directed by Dominic Arun, followed by all the other HODs, be it the cinematographer, the editor, the music composer. All their names come in bold in the center. It's not that the director's name comes and the credit starts rolling. And that is a choice. That is something to take a note of. They didn't need to do that, but they did. And of course, all of them are talented. Everyone working is getting paid. They do their work and they move on to the next film. Yes, if the film turns out to be really good, their portfolio gets better, they get better work and better pay. There are selfish reasons, but you can see that each one of them believes in what they are doing. They are taking that extra step to give everything to the project, to make it special. They are proud of it. They're pouring their heart and soul, which is very much visible on every frame of the film. And the producer Dulquer Salman has said that he'll share the profits of the film with its crew. How rare is that? Getting the right team is a big part of the filmmaking process. And that happens because of point number 3, the passion for filmmaking. Kalyani Priyadarshan said that before the release, Dulquer told her, don't worry, don't think about what will happen tomorrow, if the film will do well. Just know that we did our best. That's what matters. And that tells you so much, because that is a mindset you need to do something like this. See, we all have fear of failure. We are unsure. We have doubts. We sometimes lack the courage. But all of these things don't matter when you're passionate about something. There's nothing else you would do. This is what all matters. And when you are so focused, you are so clear, all of the doubts will vanish. Of course, the success matters. It's important. They want to make the money back. They want it to work. But that result will not dictate the value of what they have done. It's the process that matters. They spent 2-3 years of their life on this. They spent all that money, the effort that went into it. And if they're happy about the final product they have created, then the result cannot really change that. It is a natural outcome of what you have done, but that is not in your hand. What was in your hand, you gave it your best. And when you are so honest with your work, you get the result. Number 4 is focused execution. I've seen the film 3 times and there's so much attention to detail in every frame, which tells you that each department has given 110%. Now you don't need to really do this. How many people would watch the film so many times and notice all this? It's actually a waste, but they still did it. The film celebrates Kerala's folklore and culture, and they could have used that to market the film, used the Kerala pride to sell the film. They could have not made the film look so good. They could have given the excuse of the budget, that we did what we could in that, be happy with it. But they didn't do that at all. Instead, they maxed out on their technical prowess. The point that the film is so seamless that you're so invested in it that you don't focus on anything else. And when you hear that the film was just made in 30 crores, it boggles your mind. That tells you how well they have done. To make the film more commercial, to make it more massy, they could have added those unnecessary elements. Let's get a Hanuman kind song, let's get Diljit also to sing, let's have a dance sequence with a hook step that can go viral on social media. They didn't do any of it. And they had a lot of cameos. They could have had lots more, but they were measured with it. They only showed what was necessary, what was important. And they were so smart with the implementation, be it VFX, the production value, the sets they created, the costuming, the editing transitions. To do that, you don't need 100 crores. You just need to be creative. We learned that the sets they created in the film were actually replicas of real locations. And that's why they look good. They feel convincing and believable instead of shooting everything on green screen. And that tells you the ideas need to be bigger, but you don't need to show it off in the execution. Because at the end of the day, the point is to convince the audience who's watching it. And if you do that, the film will work. And that's what matters. And the last point, number 5, is luck. And you may have a different word for it, like fate, destiny. But when I say luck, I'm not saying it's a random chance. Oh, it was a lucky time when they released the film, so it worked. Oh, the makers had good luck, that's why it worked. No, nothing like that. I believe luck is just being at the right place at the right time because you have worked to be there. The timing of today, where there's so much reach, your film is so accessible. In the era of internet where you can reach so many people and tell them about your film, how much Malayalam cinema has traveled, how it has kind of become mainstream now. And none of it happened automatically. They have been building towards it. They have reached here after working on it. And that's how Malayalam cinema created good luck for them. They were proactive in making the film more accessible, making sure wherever it's playing it is with subtitles. Within the week of release, the dubbed versions were out. A lot of credit goes to the marketing team. They are someone who are always blamed when things don't work out. But when it does, no one talks about them. The way the teaser and trailers were cut. And at the end, the audiences who watched it praised the film, created that noise, and that word of mouth spread. And me who loves good cinema, I am so happy that it happened. It's not the victory for just the makers of Lokah or Malayalam cinema. It is a collective victory. Looking at that box office ticking make me feels like it's a personal victory. And if that's the connection you have built with the audiences, what else you need in life? See, at the end, the lesson to be learned is that you have to believe in yourself. Tell stories which you really want to tell with the right intentions, with honesty. Put your heart and soul into it. You're gonna give your valuable time of your life to something, and you would want it to be just mediocre, and one day will come when everything will click and it will work. When that day comes, you will not have to strike down channels because they gave a negative review for your film, because you will be just happy with the effort you had put in it, and the audiences themselves will be silencing the haters. As we know, Lokah is just the beginning of this universe, and there's so much to it. There's so many hidden details I noticed, which I've actually broken down in this long live session where we did a scene by scene breakdown going through the timeline of the whole film. A very fun exercise. If you haven't seen, definitely check it out. Also, here I talked about the next big projects coming from Malayalam cinema, what to expect in the future. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you next time.